Hey friends, what's going on? It's Easter Sunday, and I unfortunately caught a cold this last week. I was really sick yesterday. Feeling better today. Excuse me, but I kind of knew I was in for it Friday night when I had to rush out of my gig, still sweaty, and drive to another engagement in the car, cold and sweaty. So yesterday was miserable, but as a result, of trying to get through the fever and everything, I'd be up and down all day. And so I listened to some music. I didn't feel well enough. I had stuff planned actually all this weekend with other people, some musical stuff, and I was too sick for it yesterday. And I'm going to call folks who are scheduled today that they need to stay away. I still have, I can feel the fever leaving. You know what I mean? How it comes in waves. Anyway, since I played some records, and I started to put them away last night, and I said, well, let me leave them out so I can just talk about some records. Okay? And I recently discovered a VC member from France who speaks in French, and I don't speak French. I sort of understand it, but he was an example. He has a bunch of videos and an amazing collection of records since he's 14. Elaine, I think is his name. But I was fascinated, actually, and watched a couple of videos, because I think it's like what people say about watching me is you can pick up on energy, or maybe you don't. I do. Energy is important to me, and I picked up on his energy and his love, and I could sort of make out some of the stories. So that was a wonderful watch yesterday. For those that celebrate Happy Easter, I do not. I'm really pretty down on religion right now. Organized religion. Spiritual. I'm a man of the spirit, not of religion. My experience is that religion divides, spirit, we're one. And when we can get to that, then we can get something. That's why I use that word. Spirit, one. We're all one energy. Too much division in this world. Religion just divides, like politics. Religion divides. So that's where I'm at with it right now. Okay, so what did I play yesterday? A variety. I played ISIS. Ain't No Backing Up Now. Funk band. This album was produced by Alan Toussaint. Primarily female. I think it's all female band. 1975. This is very funky. This is very good. The ladies can really play. Almost the whole entire first side is written by Alan Toussaint. Some very funky material. Really good. Ain't No Backing Up Now. It just sounded great yesterday. Just really enjoyed this album all the way through and through. Yeah, variety is the spice of life for me. So besides listening to that, I listened to A Side of Dope Smoker by Sleep. This is the green and black splatter version that came out in 2014. Yeah, I think this album is monstrously heavy and necessary. This is heaviness incarnate. I have not bothered to pay attention to the words. I just feel the music. I love it. Sleep, Dope Smoker. Thinking about Chris Cole, who gave this to me a while back. Iceberg, Sentiments, Spanish jazz rock. Good guitar playing, good ensemble playing. Very much influenced by the Mahavishnu Orchestra school of fusion. Very good album. Iceberg, Sentiments. Really enjoyed this. Just like everybody else, part of my routine in a day is doing what I'm doing, and then dealing with the internet and my phone. It's just how we live now. We interact through our phones and the internet. And yesterday, Roger Coleman. I really like Roger, okay? I like everyone, but I just relate to you, Roger. You know what I'm saying? There's something I just feel like if I met you, we would just vibe heavily. probably make some really good music together. But anyway, I like the records that Roger shows, and he inspired me to pull out Jane last night. Jane number 3. Now, this is not an exceptional rock album. It's actually fairly plodding. But there's something endearing about Jane and the way they do this. It's just, their first album to me is their best together. And it's like the sound, rather than progressing progressively, their sound just got more commercial. But this one is still good, Jane 3. And I love that funky cover. I like that cover. I was just talking about Gong, but I got to tell you, once again, I played this album all the way through yesterday. Again, this album and its message, not just the music, but what they're saying, is significant to me to this day. I didn't play it yesterday, but I was sharing this online through pictures with people. My first Gong album that I got signed by the band in 1996. This is just like a personal treasure of mine. They're truly members of the cosmic family that I choose to focus on. Spiritually, we're one family. Religiously, we're all divided and fighting each other and killing each other. That's just really obvious to me, so I don't know why anyone would want me to go back to that. I'm trying to move to the next level. Spirit, wholeness, realness, healing. Man, we need some healing on this planet bad. This was a fantastic play yesterday. It had been ages, since I played this. Jade Warrior, Way of the Sun. Matter of fact, when I pulled this to play, it caught my attention because, so I forget how long the BC has been going now. Let me just try to illustrate this by doing this, I forget how long the BC has been going. And many years ago, one of the developments, besides me starting to make records through the help of Dave and Blake, is that Blake was a BC member who designed new record sleeves. And at the time, I really liked them because they were so shiny, shinier than the others. So I still working, so I bought 5,000 of them to cover most of my albums. Anyway, when I first bought the Blake sleeves, I put the albums in not so that you could just open it and pull the album out. I put them in with the closed end on the flap. And when I pulled this was still like that, which means I hadn't played this album in easily 5 years or more, probably more. And this was a wonderful revelation. I'm just trying to say how much I love this album and how much better it sounds now. Even more now does this album really, really sound wonderful. What is said about the album is that more than any other band I know, Jade Warrior have the quality to make images in the mind, not always pictures. Sometimes just muted colors and subtle shifts in perspective. That really nails it, because this album is very much like a movie of the mind where the music is very suggestive of what they describe on the back, which is about the sun. And it's beautiful. It really works. What they say about the tunes, which I read, it's on here. This is a fantastic album. I highly recommend this. Jade Warrior, Way of the Sun. Real good. Another album of spiritual integrity and potency is Mahavishnu Orchestra's Apocalypse. I hadn't played this in a while. This is the orchestral version of the orchestra with Jean-Luc Ponty, and I saw this group play live, and this album is just gorgeous. Smile of the Beyond is the standout on here for me as far as heartstrings songs. Wonderful music, wonderful music. I'm just going to make my comments because I get to, I don't want to, I'm not trying to piss people off. You be pissed off if you want to be. I can't imagine two-party politicians, Republicans or Democrats, listening to good music like this. Might wake their asses up to the evil that they're involved with, selfish evil. excuse me, another album that when I saw it as a teen in the cutouts, I knew that it wasn't supposed to be there. I had never heard it, but knew it was something special. Caravan's first album. I've had this since my teen years, and there's my name. Basically proving it. When I was still a child, I put my name on all my records. This album really represents a place. The first track is a place of my own, and that just sold me. This music is about this. Matter of fact, I'll relate this to a question someone asked me on my last video about CD burns. They wanted to know if I had any jazz CD burns, and the answer is very little, because the jazz, I was raised by jazz musicians, and I know jazz, I play jazz, and I love jazz, got a lot in the collection. But the jazz records were not exotic to me. They were not like these things that it's like, man, if I could just get a hold of these, you know. So I just wanted to explain that. That's why mainly my burn CDs are these psychedelic and progressive rock records that are just really hard to come across. I love jazz. But this music encapsulated me discovering mentally a place of my own in my world as a young black teen. I have always been at odds with the way that society wants to define black people. And I refuse to be. This is why I'm not into the blues. It's like I'm supposed to have the blues. Fuck that. I'm happy. You know, I want to be. I'm a winner. I want to play the goddamn blues. I want to be like these white boys where the world is their oyster. I wanted to feel like that, you know. And in my own mind, I was able to. I do it, you know, because in reality, I am a citizen of the universe. I deserve the best as anyone, and my main obstacle is hateful, small-minded other human beings. Hope that makes sense, folks. This album is so special to me. Caravan's first album. I played this some more. The Degelting, Volume 1. This is really quite wonderful. In a slow-moving, kind of a not creepy, negative, but like it creeps up. It's like it's kind of like bubbling along, and then things start to pop up on the surface, and it's like, oh, okay. Remain in Light, Talking Heads. Fantastic album. It must be said, though, that what is so distinct about this album is how well David Byrne appropriated African and James Brown rhythms. The very first track, the way it starts with those guitars and that rhythm, it's purely African. David Byrne makes it his own, although you still hear the connection. This album, in my opinion, is brilliant. Remain in Light, Talking Heads. And that's mainly what I have to show that I played. I want to keep it like that, you know. For those that celebrate the today's religious holiday, you know, enjoy.